Hi guys. So today I'm going to do the first part of how to build top line on a horse. This is Breeze. He's a 5-year-old Overo paint. He came to me for training and we've been working on building his top line. Although we've had a setback, he's had to have his hocks injected because of bone spurs, and that's Western pleasure breeding. But I'm going to start you off with a simple thing. For building top line, you can either use what we call a surcingle and side reins. These are donut side reins. I like using these, and the reason being is I can teach a horse how to bend and give without having to get on their back and have a problem. And then you have different settings, like your lowest setting, like if you were trying to teach a horse how to get their head low, like for Western pleasure or for hunt seat, that's the setting you would use. The mid setting is something that you would use to get a hunter horse, like if you were doing hunter jumper. This is what you would use to get their head set. And the highest setting is for something like carriage driving or gaited horses. And then this is just in case you have like a bitting rig or a balance system like the Pessoa balance or the Mustang balance. But this is basically the initial setup that I normally use. And then as for a bit, I always like to use the full cheek French link because it doesn't pop and hit the roof of their mouth. Poor baby. And I just use a regular snaffle bridle, or you can use a Western bridle too, and you can just put it over the halter because it is for training. You're not attaching anything to the halter. You don't have to use the bit keepers that they normally put for the full cheek, but it's it's simple setup. But what you're going to do is to start your horse off, you're not exactly going to connect the side reins to the bit right away. You're actually going to ask your horse to just walk off, and he's going to do that for me. Just let me go get my whip. And no, I don't whip my horses. But you're going to do a nice lofty reaching walk just to get him to stretch a little bit and get used to that. And he might trot off a little bit. He's still kind of tripping on me, but that's okay. This is his first day back since having his hocks injected, so I'm just going to take it easy on him. But he's going to walk nice and lofty. I'm trying to get him to move a little bit faster. You always want to do walk-trot sets. And I'll get into that a little bit later, but for right now, you want to just have your horse stretching out. No big deal on getting them to go really fast. You just want them to stretch, that's all. And then you can ask him to trot, 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 and he's gonna trot. It's just to get him to loosen up a little bit and get him listening to you. You can do this with a lead line or a lunge line. You can even do it riding. I don't suggest doing it riding unless you have a horse that gets on the bit. And to teach them to get on the bit, you actually have to use this setup. You can use a Vienna rein too, but I prefer, teaching them on the ground first. And it's probably the best way to do it so you don't have any accidents. But this is where you would start off. You would do walk-trot sets. It takes about a month to build the proper amount of muscle. But once you get it, it's fairly easy to do. And you can still ride. You can do your walk-trot sets in the morning. And eventually, whenever the horse feels like he wants to canter, you can do canter sets. But, you would start off just asking for a little bit of pressure on the bit. If you have a lunge line, of course, you would connect it to one side of the bit. And then, you would just ask for a little bit of give, and then they should normally put their heads down. And then tomorrow I'll get on to how to teach your horse to get onto the bit, which will help. Come here, Breeze. But this is the basic setup that I use, and and he will, and normally it takes a while